Hey Gen Xers, we are here to tell the story of Butters. And this is Butters, our Mexican street dog who wiggled his way into our hearts. He was a foster pup for the longest time and we just couldn't give him away. So we foster failed. But we're gonna start Butters' story. So this is storytelling hour, or maybe not an hour, hopefully not an hour. We're gonna start with Kat telling the beginning of the story because really she was the beginning of the story.
So as Brighton mentioned, we fostered tons of dogs and now cats down in La Paz. It was around New Year's Eve, Christmas of last year. We noticed a yellow lab-looking dog in the vacant lot next to ours. And I took a picture of it and I was like, oh gosh, that dog looks lost. And we put it up on the local Facebook page saying, is this your dog? And nobody responded. And so I kept seeing it over there, and our other foster dog who we had at the time, Lizzie, kept barking at it and scaring it away. So it was very skittish, wasn't really interested in making friends. But then I noticed it had broken into one of our neighbor's yards who isn't there very much, and it was living in there. Basically, it would run out to the beach and grab fish heads and take them back in as fast as it could into the yard and just eat the fish heads, and that's what it was surviving on. And so I told Brighton, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna see if I can become friends with that dog. And so I would take dog food over and I would put it over the gate and I'd whistle for the dog. And slowly the dog would start to eat the food and waggle its tail on the other side, but it would not get near me, not let me pet it. And then one day, I think it was maybe after 2 or 3 weeks of doing this, I walked over there with the food and the dog was outside the fence. And so I just put the food down and it ran right up to me. I was super excited to get food, to get petted. And I was like, oh great, we finally gained the trust of this puppy. And by that point I could see that it was maybe a year-old puppy. And so our plan was...
Before we continue with that story...
Riveting story.
I want to just take a quick break here and to mention how dogs have been great for my mental health. I've talked before about how I suffer from depression, and dogs have been great, but also the sponsor of this week's video can be great for your mental health, and that is BetterHelp. Thank you for sponsoring BetterHelp. You see, talking to someone is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself, and BetterHelp makes that convenient and accessible. BetterHelp can connect you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. Starting therapy can be hard. I know because I avoided it for years, but BetterHelp makes it easy because you can do this by video call, you can do it by phone call, you can even do it by text, whatever is the right time and method for you. BetterHelp has over 30,000 therapists in their network, including therapists that can help you while you're in Mexico. Because BetterHelp is the sponsor of this video, they're going to give you 10% off your first month if you use my affiliate link, which is betterhelp.com/almost-retired. So to get started, what you do is you fill out a questionnaire, and then they'll take that information to match you with a therapist, usually within 48 hours. And if that therapist doesn't work out for you, which is common when you're starting therapy, you don't have to worry. You can choose a new therapist for free without having to worry about insurance or whether someone's in your network or things like that. Over 4 million people have worked with BetterHelp to live a happier, healthier life. So if you think that you might benefit from therapy, click the link below in the description or just visit their website at betterhelp.com/almost-retired and you'll get that 10% discount off your first month. Using that link helps to support this channel and also, as I mentioned, gets you that 10% off. So hopefully you can find the help that you might be looking for. Also, BetterHelp does have gift memberships. So if you're looking for something for the holiday season, consider that too. Now let's let Kat get back to that riveting story.
So our original plan was to take the dog in, get it fixed so there wouldn't be additional street dogs, puppies out contributing to the suffering. And so when we took the dog to the vet, they were like, great, yeah, we definitely can fix the dog, but it also has a couple of tick-borne diseases and it's going to need to be on doxycycline, a type of antibiotics, for 40 days. The problem was we were leaving to come back to Portland in Oregon in 30 days. So we're like, all right, we'll see if we can get the dog, adopted out, someone who could continue the medication, and then we'll just take off for Portland. But we weren't able to find someone to adopt him in a short amount of time. So we loaded him up with Lizzie and with Nugget. So 3 dogs in a Subaru and headed back to Portland, Oregon.
And this is when we found out maybe one of Butter's little flaws, and that is he gets car sick. So as soon as we started driving with him, because we really hadn't driven him anywhere, just drool just started leaking out of his mouth. He threw up once. The good news is Nugget, our golden retriever, is just like, we carry a pharmacy with us to deal with Nugget's health issues. And we had some Serenia and some like pain medicine and stuff, so that he was kind of knocked out for a good chunk of the car ride north. And so he made it up here just fine. We've been working on that. So we're taking him for short car rides and trying to get him a little bit more used to it. He's still not perfect. We still get a little drool once in a while. Actually, before we got him to the vet, we had to get him onto a leash. And so he was living over in our neighbor's yard. And we came over, Kat actually brought me into the mix, came over, and here's this wiggly, very happy puppy. And we put a collar on this very wiggly, happy puppy. And he was just like, what are you doing? And then we attached a leash to the collar, and he was just not having any of it. But we had lots and lots of food with us. So he kept jumping around, eating food, slowly getting used to the collar, slowly getting used to the leash. And we were able to get him out of the yard then. Quick break in. I always forget to ask you guys to subscribe, but if you're not already subscribed, make sure you do. Butters is a subscriber. You can do that too. Push subscribe, the little bell, and all. The first time he met Lizzie, so remember Kat mentioned that Lizzie would always bark at Butters, and Butters is kind of he's a pretty mellow dog and also very skittish. So we were like, there's no way he's going to get along with Lizzie. And Kat was working, I think, one day, and I went over to check on Butters, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to bring him over to the house, because Kat was much more nervous about this meeting than me. I was like, I'm going to bring him over to the house, put him in the driveway, and then I'll bring Lizzie out to Butters and see how she does if we're doing it like an introduction off the property. So Lizzie had kind of claimed our yard as hers. And so I went through the gate and went to go get Lizzie, and Butters just shot straight through the gate directly at Lizzie and just immediately started playing with her. And Lizzie, that's not really Lizzie's personality. Lizzie's, she's not always really good with new dogs, but they were the perfect match. They played so much, just ran laps around the outside of the house and really enjoyed each other. Butters sleeps, he used to sleep all over Lizzie. They were just, really fast friends. We recently, about, a few weeks ago, found Lizzie her forever home, which is very exciting. And we get videos from the woman who adopted her, and it's working out really well. But Butters is definitely a little sad that, he's missing out on his playmate.
All right. So with these Mexican, street mutts, we love them. They're so loyal and so cuddly. But they do have some issues, and sometimes they're not used to living indoors. Sometimes they're not used to living within a fence. And so, he's had some growing pains being here in Oregon.
Where's my peanut butter sandwich, Butters? Where's my peanut butter sandwich?
He busted through our back door. He didn't realize there was a screen door in there, and he just went flying.
Actually, it was in screen door. It was plexiglass, and he went flying straight through the plexiglass.
Right through the plexiglass. We had to fix that. Upstairs, a raccoon got on our roof, and he went through the screen door.
Yes, the screen was upstairs. Yeah,
screen out. So we had to get a whole new screen upstairs. And
one day we found him. We came home, and Lizzie and him had been playing in the yard. We've got a dog door. And Butters was just covered in mud. Like his whole face was black. And we were like, what did you do?
Oh my God, Butters. Get out of there. That's nasty. Oh.
Yeah.
That's just normal dog stuff.
It's just normal dog stuff. But like I said, he's a Mexican street dog. We don't know exactly what he is. And actually, there's going to be another video coming up because Kat got us a wisdom panel. She bought wisdom panel so we could see what kind of dog he is. We actually did wisdom panel on Nugget because Kat didn't believe that Nugget was 100% golden retriever, and it came back as 100% golden retriever. No other dogs mixed in there. It'll be interesting to see what Butters shows up as. Make sure down in the comments below you put your guess in. We're guessing that there's going to be a lot of Chihuahua, because Kat's sister has a dog, Cassidy, That looks
just like this dog, except bigger.
wider.
Bigger.
Bigger.
And he came out something like 60% Chihuahua, which is crazy. But I think he's a Mexican street dog as well.
Yeah. We'll have a video once we get the results back from Wisdom Panel to share with you what this dog ended up being.
So the journey of little Butters here is he went from a very scared, skittish puppy, living, on the streets, eating fish heads, being chased by other dogs. He still has a little bit of fear of like when other dogs bark at him, to this. Complete trust, complete love. He is such a cuddler. He sleeps in the bed with us. He just wants to be on you all the time. He makes us super happy, and he's finally going to get the life that he deserves. Look.
Yes, he is quite the sleeper. We say that he is the professional sleeper. If you lay down somewhere, he will lay on top of you and go to sleep. And actually, we are working with a trainer on some of those PTSD issues. And Doug has been helping us with Butters, actually in exchange for YouTube videos. So at the end of this video, you're going to get to see Butters with his trainer. The other thing people ask a lot about is vet care down in Mexico. And the vet care in Mexico is really good. So great local vets. If you want to go to a specialist vet, you kind of have to go to like Guadalajara or something like that. So if you're in the Ajijic area, you have access to really good specialist vets. But we have great vet care down in Mexico that we've taken all of our animals to. And I've actually made a video about that. So you're going to find the video about vet care up here, and you're going to find Butters with his trainer over on his trainer's channel down here. See you in those videos. Hasta luego.
Hopefully you're going to have a lot of B-roll because this is not exciting.
Yep. Yep. Nugget, I'm going to need to sit there.